Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 4 of our Donkey Kong Country commentary, and as promised last time, I'm going to talk about the Game Boy Advance version of the World 3 boss. Now, as I said, it spawns smaller zingers around it, and you have to defeat all of them in order to be able to damage it, which, after watching the boss fight, looks far more tedious than I remember. See, I think what I was remembering was that, you could, aim a well-timed barrel toss in between the bees and, speed up the fight that way, but no, you have to kill all of them for the bee to stop being invincible, and I don't know, this just seems kind of boring. But you know what's not boring? Winky's bonus stage.
You know, it's not boring. Frogs.
Oh, yeah.
So,
frogs are
Frog
fun.
in a cave.
I meant to say this last time, but every time we start up one of these, I really appreciate that you start the video right at the music cue of the world theme. It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
I noticed that too.
It's like Pavlovian. Every time you hear that, it's Donkey Kong time.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Oh, get
You
it
know,
going.
Winky's got a pretty good bonus stage, too. You can get a lot of tokens in here.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I may have gotten more than I did with Espresso, now that I look at the numbers.
60, more than enough to kill K. Rool.
So now that we've gotten the Donkey Kong GBA comparison out of the way, welcome to World 4, Gorilla Glacier, and
Oh.
this world has its ups and downs, and unfortunately its opening level is one of the downs, in my opinion.
I like the teal bees, though.
Yeah.
They're like frozen bees.
Well, that's one thing a weird little thing I enjoy about DKC 1 as opposed to 2. In 2, I don't think there are any, color variations on enemies that, aren't related to function. Normal zingers are yellow, and the red ones, you can't kill. But in this one, there are just, different colored enemies to match whatever location they're in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a neat touch.
Yeah.
The biologist in me thinks maybe they're kind of like Arctic fish and have antifreeze blood.
Now, as you can see, or more appropriately, as you can't see, there's a blizzard in front of the screen.
Ah!
And the game wants us to fire ourselves out of barrels with very precise timing. Oh my god.
DK.
Did you get a good look at him?
No.
Zoom in. Enhance.
I like that in the Arctic area you got to Ramby's stage.
Yeah.
It's like poetry.
The worst bonus stage in the game.
Aww.
Look at that timer. Look at that. It's unfair.
Can you get it?
Will I make it? Am I gonna make it? Am I gonna make it? Nope.
Nope.
Oh no, only 63 extra lives. Oh.
You have to choose between collecting the little things or getting times 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot, unfortunately.
KN.
Where'd the O go?
It was in Donkey Kong's face. Oh no!
Rest in peace, big buddy.
Oh.
Rest in peace, little buddy. Did you
So
just
as you
get the
can
G?
Wait, is that how you're supposed to get the G?
Just by killing yourself, I guess.
I mean, that seems like it would be a rare move.
This is from that brutal era of games. That's the joke, is all the Kong letters give you is an extra life. So you have a net gain of nothing.
Bragging rights.
You've started with nothing and you've gone back to nothing. What have you lost? Nothing.
You get nothing! There, I did my one. Oh wow, you're following that bee really closely.
Yeah, that last barrel is just... It's perfectly timed to follow the bee. Also, that claptrap at the end. Ugh. I cut out like a ton of deaths trying to get that barrel section right. The one time I made it that far in the level, the claptrap kills me.
God.
See, you should have left that in for the laps.
I know.
That barrel rotating with the bee, but like just barely slower than the bee, gave me some like slight deep-seated anxiety from, not anxiety, but just like memories of playing console shooters where like the sensitivity is way too low and you're trying to follow a fast enemy and you're like barely not able to keep up with them.
You're just not fast enough.
Bye, Diddy.
You need more fast.
Hey, Diddy. I really like these crystal stages.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Once again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but beautiful visuals and beautiful music.
Beautiful.
I'm so glad this made it into Smash Ultimate.
Oh yeah.
Did it?
Unfortunately, Ice Cave Chant is well, it's in Smash Ultimate.
Wait, there's letters in there you can't even get outside here.
I am just beefing these bonus stages.
You're a loser.
Nintendo's getting ready to take down this video after you couldn't even spell their name.
Maybe you want a bottle? A big banana bottle?
Ooh, banana smoothie. That sounds good right now.
Ooh, stop it. I'm gonna have to go out and buy something now.
Oh, this is a devious trap there.
In San Fran. Oh, sorry. I don't know if we're supposed to disclose where we live.
I don't care.
Okay.
Somewhere in San Fran.
I'm pretty sure I posted on social media that I live in San Fran.
Okay. Do you have like a bunch of like hippie smoothie stores out there?
I do actually have a store. I do actually have a smoothie place like right near my apartment called Joe and the Juice.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
One of my many.
There's actually at least like 3
ventures
of them that I've seen in the city.
My empire does reach far and wide. Yes.
I was gonna make a Kingdom Hearts reference, but it's a tiny spoiler for the intro of Kingdom Hearts 3. I'll be good. It's not a story spoiler.
Does it start with Sora sitting on a throne with his little crown saying, "Well, there I am, the king of all the land,
king of all the hearts."
Unfortunately, no. It has something to do with
Sora's bad hair day.
I was just gonna say Dr. Scrooge, but Mr. Scrooge.
What are you doing, DK?
Big hair day.
Nice dance.
This part of the level looks a little bit unintuitive. Well, actually, no. Do I go for the O here?
Wait, how do you get that vine over there? Wait, are those like
I don't
slick?
know if this is the intended way to do that, but yeah,
what are those
purple
other 2
ropes
ropes for?
I don't know. Scenery. Yeah, one of them was like on top of the level assets.
That's weird.
Yeah, the purple ropes push you down and the blue ones raise you up.
Oh! Whoa!
Now, one nice little bit of continuity here is we finished that last snow level in the middle of a blizzard, and then we went into a cave. And so the next snow level is going to be starting out in the blizzard and then gradually having it go away.
That's good.
As the level progresses. Which, I know we talked about it last time, but is something that Tropical Freeze channels very well.
Oh, yeah.
Having continuity from level to level like that.
I love that the games had better, like, storytelling, just, like, by existing than the TV show ever did.
Yeah, well, I mean...
Have you read the manual with the prologue story to this? It sounds like it was straight out of the cartoon or the 3D show.
Well, yeah, because don't they say like Diddy Kong? He was like DK put him on guard duty to like prove his like a hero test or something.
It was like taking him out of his hair, right?
I don't know. And then he like immediately gets shoved in a barrel by the Kremlings.
It literally starts off with like, it's a dark and stormy night.
Yep. Spelled Nite.
Oh, don't hurt Lanky.
I'm not making that up. That's actually how they spell it in the manual.
Wait, how do they spell it?
Nite.
Oh my god.
A dark and stormy night.
Well, as long as it's not a dark and stormy KNIGHT.
Oh, Lord.
Sonic in the Dark and Stormy Night.
This platform is BS.
Yeah, they love to put clap traps on those, like, upward sloping ice platforms in this level. Thanks, Rare.
Oh, you got rid of that barrel for a long time.
Yeah.
You can't bounce on the thrown barrels, can you?
You can.
No. Can you?
You can't? I thought you could.
No, I don't think you can jump on... Okay, I think they changed it in 2. Like, in this one, you can't. But in 2, like, there are enemies that, like, fire barrels out of a cannon.
Huh.
And you can bounce on those, but not the ones in this game. By the way, that barrel-throwing monkey enemy is, you know... You may have noticed that it's a reference to the original Donkey Kong arcade game from 1980.
I feel like a cannon that shoots barrels is something you'd find in, like, Enter the Gungeon or Borderlands.
And it all started here.
I mean,
So I think this is our second to last underwater stage here.
you know,
Last one was just those spiky wheels, right?
Oh yeah, in the well, I don't know what we're swimming in that level. It's like bright green. Toxic waste, I guess.
maybe it's like one of those ponds that has, like, a huge algae bloom.
Oh yeah.
It's like one you see in, like, a country road.
Well, we're whatever the reason, I don't know that I want to be swimming in bright green liquid. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm just listening to the music.
You know, I kind of am too.
It's so good, man.
We should just gradually fade out our dialogue over the course of the episode and just make the music louder.
We have a special guest with us today, David Wise.
I was gonna say something about earlier, like, there's a bunch of water levels and they all use the same music track. And it's like, it's kind of unoriginal, but at the same time, I'm like, this track is fire. This track is so good.
Well, and like, you only hear it 4 times over the course of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's... I don't think anybody would object to that with good reason.
Is this the only water level with barrels?
I think there might be barrels in the Poison one in World 5, but...
Okay.
Or you know what? Maybe I'm thinking of something in 2, because I know in 2 they have like the galley levels.
Oh god.
Where you're like inside a ship swimming around.
Oh yeah.
I'll take these water levels over those any day because those are the ones that can like become steam like lava.
Oh yeah. Well, that's just the one level though, with the seal.
Yeah, I am not a fan of that level at all.
Yeah, it was a little gimmicky, but it didn't overstay its welcome at least.
It's like deceptively, it can get like real red before it actually starts hurting you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, and the devs knew that, so they timed it out so that you'd just be like, oh, I'm gonna die!
So long, Dixie.
And then you do.
Yeah.
Oh, he's almost out! Oh no! Come back on guard.
We don't need him. What if you could just take On Guard to the next level? That's like not a water level.
I would love if you could wield On Guard, but instead of wielding him like a sword, you hold him by the sword point and you use him like a club.
just go up to Cranky riding On Guard. What the hell are you doing?
Well, there is that one level.
Get off of my lawn!
There is that one level in 2 that the water level changes and you can get stranded on dry land with On Guard.
Oh yeah.
And you just have to like you have to make him like wiggle around to get back into the water.
Yeah. Well, at least in 2 they gave him the
charge attack.
Yeah, the charge attack.
Is this Squawks?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
His first and only appearance in Donkey Kong Country 1.
Oh.
Yet another while we're speaking of things that got like expanded and improved in the sequel, I think Squawks was a more than adequate replacement for Espresso in the sequel. I really like those parts where you get to fly around with him.
Yeah, he carries you, doesn't he?
God. This is just the part where I can't get bonus rooms.
Okay, that little animation right there is probably one of my favorite animations of the game.
Dude, there's so many. One of my favorite reaction gifs is just DK's like losing animation,
Yes.
where he just like shakes his head in disgust.
He's like, I am ashamed.
Disappoint Kong.
Oh man, this is not an easy wheel to get around.
Yeah. Also, I mentioned earlier that that I'm playing this on the Super Nintendo Classic. Every release of this game, apart from the Super Nintendo original, removed a graphical effect. When you turned around in this swap stage, there would be one frame where the screen turned white when he's like pointing the searchlight directly into the camera.
Oh.
I guess they were concerned for people with epilepsy, though, so that does not appear in any subsequent re-release of this game.
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me or something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man,
It doesn't look 3D anymore, but at the same time,
It's
my
easier to
eyes
look
aren't
at.
too troubled about that.
Yeah, same.
it could be worse. It could be like Pokemon Red and Red and Blue on the 3DS, where they darkened all the electric attacks.
Oh, that was terrible. I hated that.
They
Dark-
Like, I can
Oh.
understand going back in and playing around with those animations to make them a little bit less seizure-inducing. But the way they fixed it was just like it was such like a lazy like band-aid to put over
yeah.
it. Just
Dude.
darken the screen.
You just reminded me. Oh my god. I watched through all of the My Hero Academia anime recently. I read the manga a long time ago, but I just recently watched the anime. And in season 3, for some reason, whenever there were like flashy things on the screen, like electricity or explosions and stuff, they darkened the whole screen.
Oh.
And it just looked so bad, and I was just so disappointed. And it wasn't just exclusively like, bright, flashy things. Sometimes it was just like if a character was really close to the screen and taking up a lot of the screen space, or like if something was happening that I guess looked. I don't know what the criteria were, but it looked so bad, and I never got used to it.
That sounds like a quick fix, because like if they were planning for stuff like that, then why didn't they just animate it to be like not seizure inducing? But
yeah,
that sounds like somebody coming in after the fact and messing around with it.
there was
Which
definitely
their heart's in the right place, but that's
yeah, there were definitely a lot more like stuff in season 3 that were more like, oh wait, we're like popular now. We probably need to do some things to like appeal to the wider audience, or make it more palatable to the wider audience, I guess. Like the season started with a recap episode of just like all of the big events of the previous 2 seasons for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And there was also a bit where they went over like all the students' names and what their powers were, which was, I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. That's like something that is probably good to go over, just so you know what you're dealing with for the rest of the series. But then for the rest of the season, anytime a character would show up for the first time in an episode, they would get like a little block of text that said their name and what their power was near them.
That's straight out of Digimon.
Every single episode, the first time they showed up. So that was a bit weird, but I mean, it's whatever. Anyway.
Do you ever get deja vu?
Next episode, when we talk about more things that aren't Donkey Kong.
It's been fun. See ya.